This is a Cincy fan talking with LP. You can catch me on Twitter. That's a Cincy fan talking. You say it like it sounds, just leave off the G. If you have ideas for the show, you can reach me at Cincy_fan talk at yahoo.com. If you have any suggestions for the show, make sure you leave them there. Who knows, you might find yourself as part of the show. Any feedback would be definitely appreciated. And also, make sure you hit the Linktree page that's on my Twitter. Make sure you click on that. You can find all the different ways to contact me there. Enjoy the show. What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the pod. Been gone for a minute, but we back up in it. Bars? Nah, not really, right? I feel y'all. Hey, welcome back to a Cincy fan talking with LP, and of course, this is yours truly, LP, here with you, hanging out in this hot room with no fan going. So we're gonna have to be one take Tony out this piece or something, cause woo, it's blazing. But hey, I can't really complain too much. Just back from vacay, did some Myrtle Beach time with the fam. We'll get into that in a second. We'll talk about the do's and don'ts of Myrtle Beach if you haven't been, or if you've been but you haven't been in a while and you're thinking about going. I'm gonna drop some do's and don'ts for y'all. Some funny stuff that happened to us in the fam while we was down at Myrtle Beach. Cool stuff like that. 4th of July coming up. We're gonna get into that a little bit. I won't go too heavy on it because if you're a diehard to the pod, you know how I feel about the 4th. But I'm gonna jump into that a little bit. But first, gotta talk to my Cleveland fans. Gotta talk to my Browns fans, y'all. If you're a Browns fan, slide in close. Now it's not a diss song. It's a real song. All right. That got to be like one of my favorite Jay-Z quotes ever, cuz like that's one of my favorite songs ever. I mean, he was just being honest. Like he was just saying how he felt. And I mean, yo, Browns fans, it's not a diss song. It's a real song. All right. Now, you're talking to a Bengals diehard here, all right, Brown fan. That's who you're talking to right now. So when I say we kind of sort of feel your predicament right now, well, we kind of sort of feel your pain, we really do. Not to this extent, but something close to it. The Bengals had this thing they were doing for a while with why is the coach name escaping me? That's crazy. As long as Marvin Lewis coach here, I forget his name. Come on now, LP, chill out. But Marvin Lewis was basically grabbing folks off of I won't say off the pile, but he was grabbing folks up that had checkered past. They had a history of doing dumb stuff, and he was grabbing them up, hoping he could turn them into diamonds off the cheap, help them rebuild their lives and all of that. And we kind of looking like, dude, you can't keep picking up these people that got these sketchy past and think you're gonna clean them all up. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. Like people used to give Pac-Man Jones all types of stuff, all types of hell. And he used to be on that mess sometimes. I give you that. He did some dumb stuff. But for what Adam Jones was doing in the Cincinnati community, giving out bikes to entire classes, and you never saw Adam Jones out here on some mess once he got on in the Natty. I thought he really got a bad rap. Yes, he did some dumb stuff, but I felt like when he was in the Natty, the good outweighed the bad so much. But here's the thing about when the Bengals would pick up these folks. Now, it's a couple of people the jury's still out on, but for the most part, they pretty much knew everything they need to know about that person. And then it was like, do we give them a shot or do we not? And sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't. Joe Mixon is like the best example of this. If if anybody tries to say something like, well, Joe Mixon punched the girl, he did what he did because, like, come on. Even he admits, his anger got the best of him and it's something he shouldn't have did. It was absolutely stupid. And even he would say that. But when you look at what happened, he was very forthcoming on what happened. It was dumb. It was stupid. No matter if I was provoked, it shouldn't have happened. And it won't happen again. Exemplary person ever since. And you don't excuse what happened. That's the thing. That's what a lot of people don't get. You don't excuse the nonsense. You make them own up to it in order to get another chance to shine. And he paid for it. People say, "Oh well, he just got back on." He paid for it. He was supposed to be a first round draft pick. He dropped down in that. A lot of people were looking like, giving him hell, warranted for what he did. But exemplary guy down here in the Natty, like, either he talking fun stuff and talking a little bit of mess on Twitter or something like that. Other than that, you don't hear from him. That's what you want, unless he's talking about something like standing up for his rights or something like that. But when people compare him to Deshaun Watson, I just kind of look and I just kind of laugh. Not really laugh because this is some messed up stuff, but I just kind of look at it like, I don't see how you can compare the two. As a matter of fact, when you compare the two, you kind of letting Deshaun Watson off the hook. Like, I hear that excuse a lot in class when I'm teaching. Somebody will get in trouble, somebody will do something dumb, and I teach seventh graders. So I'm like, they're going to do dumb stuff because they seventh graders. I tell them this all the time. I'm like, first day of school, I'm like, y'all gonna do some dumb stuff in the course of our year. You will. No, Mr. Parker, I'm like, trust me, you will. And we're gonna have to figure it out. We're gonna have to, check what you did. And we're going to have to put, certain systems in place so you don't do the dumb stuff over and over and over. But I expect you to make mistakes. Like I do. It's a part of this whole game. So when a kid messes up and they go like, well, so-and-so did this, automatically I'm like, look, stop. As soon as you say stuff like that, what you're doing is you're going like, well, he messed up, so I can mess up, and we deserve the same consequence. No, 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 no. It doesn't work that way, homie. It's not like that. Every situation is different. And I'm going to discipline every situation differently. Just because so and so did something and got a stern warning, that doesn't mean you get a stern warning for what you did because y'all didn't do the same thing. It's not like that. And even if you did do the same thing, if it's his first time doing that dumb thing and it's your fourth time, why are you expecting the consequence to be exactly the same? So let me worry about the consequences and you worry about not messing up. Simple. When Browns fans are all in the mentions saying, well, what about Joe Mixon? I'm like, you really comparing this? Like, are you really trying to compare something dumb with something dumb? Because I know you don't expect me to go like, well, Joe Mixon. No, no, no. I'm simply saying this. We're not talking about Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon did his dirt. He paid his penalty. He did that, and now he is where he is. And I won't say it's all good, but I mean, it seems like he learned from it. I'm not saying Deshaun Watson is guilty or innocent. I'm not saying any of that. But I know most, I won't say all, because there's some fans in every fan base that's a little bit dumb. Like, I know y'all don't expect me to say there's no dumb Bengals fans. There are a few dumb Bengals fans that say dumb stuff. And you kind of look at them like, dang, you part of our clique? It's some dumb Ohio State fans. And you go like, dang, you roll with us? You claim Buckeye? Ugh. But for most Cleveland fans, most Browns fans, I know they gotta be quite salty with the predicament. I mean, you get yourself a nice quarterback under these ridiculous conditions. You know he's not gonna play for a while. And then you gotta be like, but this my team, like this my squad. And I'm here to say this to you, Browns fans. One, we feel you. And two, it's okay to root for your team and just kind of not really worry about the individual. I mean, honestly, I don't know what the Browns were thinking. How do you give up that much? I mean, this is this is apart from what he's accused of. And by the way, I mean, one person could be lying. I get that. Two or three people, but 24. Even if you think he's innocent, you gotta stand up and listen. And I just don't get why some people are like, well, no, they could be like, really 24. But I digress. Let me back it up. Here's what I'm saying. How do you, as the Browns front office, decide to go like, you know what? He's worth it. We're gonna give up all of this stuff, all of these first and second and third round draft picks. We're gonna give it up because we feel like we got a star quarterback now. And we go like, we're gonna go ahead and just kind of blow up our QB situation. We're gonna alienate the first pick of the draft a couple years ago. Forget that. We're gonna go ahead and break my man off upwards of 200 plus million guaranteed, so he gets every single cent. No problem. If I'm a Browns fan, I do not get that. I do not understand that. When you know that he's not going to be playing for a while, let's say even if you do your due diligence, let's say you do all your due diligence and you go like, hey, you know what? He might only get 6 games. Calvin really blew about $1,500 gambling and got a year. If Deshaun Watson gets anything less than a year after Calvin really got a year for blowing $1,500 gambling, yikes. And now, as a teacher, you have to understand that actions have consequences, and you cannot overdo a consequence because when you overdo a consequence, the next consequence that comes up, parents are going to be looking at you like, really? That's a pretty large consequence for that, for whatever happened. And you're kind of like, I can't make it lower because I just went off and kicked dude out of class with sharpening his pencil without permission. So now that's the high watermark. That's the watermark now. You can't do that. I feel like the NFL overplayed their hand, real talk. And they're like, we got to send a message about gambling. Okay, we did that. But now this is so much more serious. It's so much more serious than Calvin really blowing 1,500 bones on a team playing another team. He got to get at least a year. And I don't understand how the Browns weren't thinking like this. You get yourself a QB that already hasn't played for a year. He's going to sit on the shelf for another year. And you expect him to come back and dominate the AFC North? Really? And this isn't even me as like big, huge Bengals fan. Nobody's beating Burrow. Now, I'm not even thinking like that. You still got to jump over Lamar Jackson, proven quality QB, MVP, not even caliber, MVP QB, MVP QB. Like, that's what he is. They had an off year. And if I'm being completely honest, injuries played a large role in that. And the Bengals played a role in that as well. So you got to hop over the Ravens. You got to hop over the Bengals. Everybody's saying the Steelers are going to be trash. Okay. I would counter with, how many losing seasons has Mike Tomlin had again? Let me count on my zero. So if we're expecting the Steelers to be trash, that's not gonna happen. The drop off is not gonna be that bad. It never is with the Steelers. They just plug and chug. They find ways to get people in the system and they keep it moving. So now you got to ask yourself as a Browns front office person, are you willing to give all of that up and possibly set the franchise back about 3, 4 years for somebody fighting 24 sexual harassment charges? And apparently the Browns said, yeah. Like they really said, yep, that's what we doing. So, Browns fan, I simply say we feel your pain. Um, I don't know. Sorry, I guess. I don't know. But real talk, if you're a Browns fan, you gotta be real live salty about what's happening. And the messed up part is that's a good team over there. Like it really is. And what I don't understand is the hate for Baker Mayfield. I really don't get it. I mean, he pops us every time we play him. And I my homie, we worked together for a couple of years. Basically intervention specialist in the classroom, diehard Browns fan. He said it best. I mean, he broke it down to me better than anybody could. Baker Mayfield is basically what Andy Dalton was. And I'm like, damn, you right. You give Baker Mayfield solid weapons around him, a good line, and a great running game, Baker Mayfield will win you some games. And look at what the Browns had. Look at what they got. A solid running game. I'm gonna give Nick Chubb the ultimate compliment. Um, as a fan from another team in the AFC North, I hate Nick Chubb. Like I really do. And when you hear somebody say that with venom, what they really saying is, "Damn, I wish he was on the squad." That's really what they saying. So when I say that about Nick Chubb, I'm like, dang, if we had Mixon and Chubb, good God. Because Nick Chubb a beast, man. Like he really is. And to have him in the backfield, and then they gotta clean up their receiver game. They gotta get tight with the receivers now that they lost Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham. But they got a dope offensive line. The defense is solid. They have the makings of a good team, a team that Baker Mayfield could have come in and did his thing with. I mean, it worked before. They got themselves the playoff dub. They almost beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. But I guess Baker Mayfield's, I guess his attitude wears thin on folks. I feel like he just want to win, and more than anything, he just got set up for failure. He really did. You pick Baker Mayfield first overall, and he's not really the first overall type player. Like he wasn't that dude, but he got set up like that. So you rightfully so expect first overall dividends. And he wasn't really given that. You don't expect your first overall pick to be an Andy Dalton like quarterback. Andy Dalton got picked in the second round. So you would expect to have to build a solid nucleus around him. You expect that. You expect the first overall pick to come in like Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert or somebody like that. You expect them to be able to lead the team on their own and lead that team to victory. That's what you expecting. And Baker Mayfield's not that dude. And that's not even a disrespectful thing to say because think about all of the people that are that guy that can basically pick up the team on their back and lead them to victory. If you thinking of a quarterback, it's probably an elite quarterback. And elite quarterbacks don't come a dime a dozen. Like you can't pick up an elite quarterback round 6 most years. Unless you luck up and get somebody like Tom Brady. But you didn't expect that from Tom Brady. Shout out to Jim from on the Friday Night Music Party who broke it down excellently. I mean, nobody's expecting that. So I just feel like Baker Mayfield got set up and there's no turning back now. Like that bridge is burned. They threw the GTA 5 Molotov cocktail on that bridge. It's absolutely toast. You will not see Baker Mayfield in a Cleveland Browns uniform. Like it's not happening. It- I mean, sometimes you have arguments and you say too much to go back. Sometimes that happens. It does. That's why you really got to watch what you say because you never know when you need somebody again. I feel like the Browns are going to find that out. Jacoby Brissett, I mean, eh, he can do it for a short amount of time, but I don't think that he can sustain a full season of above average play. Like I don't think so, especially in the AFC North, where I mean, you got the Ravens coming with it. Pittsburgh's defense is always solid. The Bengals have that tricky bend but don't break defense. And right when you think that everything's sweet, you got Trey Hendrickson busting through the middle. You just got like the entire front four just roughing folks up. You got Hubbard. I mean, it's there's some solid defenses in the AFC North, and I don't know. I mean, just to understand like how far the Cleveland Browns fan kind of like fell. Not really them, but the team, and we was right there with them for a grip, like for real. So I, I was kind of. I won't say I was like happy that they were winning. I mean, I'm happy they beat Pittsburgh in the playoffs. I mean, because it's Pittsburgh, it's whatever. But I can't ever really say I hated the Browns. I don't like the Browns, but you line up all three AFC North teams, and the Browns are like the least most hated, if that makes sense. Or is it the most least hated? I don't know. But either way, like you talking tiers, the Steelers and the Ravens are right next to each other, like absolutely positively hate. And then you got the Browns under them. So it is really messed up that the front office decided to hitch their wagon to somebody where, I mean, whether you think he did it or not, like whether you think Deshaun Watson was out here doing the wild stuff, or if you think he got set up or framed or whatever, strictly from a football business standpoint, this had to be one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Like you're hitching your wagon to somebody that's fighting all of these cases. I mean, as a teacher, I couldn't imagine walking into an interview and sitting down and they talking about my teaching style and I'm telling them, and we're going back and forth, having awesome repartee or whatever. And then they go like, so is there anything you need to tell us? And I go like, yeah, I'm fighting these civil cases. And they go like, really, what happened? Did you cut somebody's grass on accident? Did you chop down the tree you shouldn't have? And I go like, man, I got these 24 sexual harassment cases. They'll be like, LP, sir, it was nice knowing you. We'll call you. And by call you, I mean we're not gonna call you. That's what it would be. This man got broke off 200 mil guaranteed, and they gave up draft picks for him, and he's probably not gonna see the field. I mean, imagine buying a car and not being able to drive it for a year. Like, like imagine getting your PS5 and they go like, "Well, you can't boot it up for a year, champ." Like, good God. Like, people would look at me like, dude, you bought a PS5 that don't work for a year. Cuz, how you living? And I don't mean to like break this man down to like, equipment, but if we being real, all of these players that play for these owners, they're like pieces to a puzzle and they want it to be a championship puzzle. So imagine buying a 300 piece puzzle and you got 299 pieces and you're trying to find like the last piece and it's not there. You just wasted your time. You wasted your money. You wasted your energy. And for what? Something that's never going to be complete. And that's what this is. It's something that's not going to be complete because the part that they needed the most is down for a year for sexual harassment civil suits. Is wild. I feel like it speaks to a lot of different things. People want to win so much that they're willing to overlook people literally saying that things happen to them. I mean, and like I said, I wasn't there. I don't know if it's true or not. All I'm saying is you get that many people talking. I don't know if life should really be the same. Like not for that guy. I don't think he should be out here living like it's all good. I mean, there should be some comeuppance for that until the truth comes out. I mean, it's just wild, and I feel like the NFL is about to weigh in because they got a perception thing to do as well. You know, they gotta make sure they look right. I mean, women do watch the NFL. I mean, I know because wifey sitting right next to me yelling out about why the Bengals playing zone on 3rd and 3. And I'm like, whoa, like you know too much. Like I've taught you too well. But for my Bengals fans, I mean, my fault for my Browns fans out there. Um, Hopefully Brissett can do it for y'all for real because that's who it's gonna be. Cause I don't see Baker coming back in the fold, not for real. Hey, you got a Cincy fan talking with LP. We'll be right back in a sec, y'all.
Hi, hi. I'm Princess and I'm Queen. This is Daddy.
You have to say, and this is a Cincy fan talking with LP.
And this is a sensitive friend talking with LP Daddy.
Nice job.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? What's up? You are back. You are back with the Cincy fan talking with LP. And of course, this is LP. And I had absolutely no plan to talk about Draymond Green and Kendrick Perkins this morning when I woke up. Like I had no idea how this stuff would blow up so crazy like it did. If you haven't heard, basically you got Perkins and Green going back and forth um over social media. To make a long story super short, Draymond Green basically said that Kendrick Perkins got carried and earned his ring without really earning it, and everybody else did all the work. And throughout the middle of all of that, and I'd have been super heated too. Apparently, Draymond Green called him like a coon or something like that, and Kendrick Perkins did not take that well, and he shouldn't have. Now, I'm not a Kendrick Perkins guy. Like, I don't really dig his style. I feel like he inflames a lot of things on purpose to get the clicks, to get the views, and for me, I don't really dig that. So I purposely won't click on stuff like that or view stuff like that because my mind frame is pretty simple. If I don't like something, I'm not gonna complain about how much I don't like it. I'm just not gonna watch it because why am I sliding money in people's pockets that I really don't like hearing? That's kind of my thing. That's kind of where I'm at with Kendrick Perkins. I have nothing against him personally because I don't know him personally. So it's not like every time I see his face, I go like, "Oh my god, ugh." It's not like that. It's just some things I like to hear and see, and some things I don't like to hear and see. And I just don't really dig his style. And I'm a Draymond Green fan. Like I feel like somebody that built themselves up like Draymond Green did, second round pick, all those people in front of him, and he came out and he really did his thing. He became like an integral piece to a championship puzzle. People can say they would get those ships without Draymond Green. I don't really see it because of what he brings to the team. He brings that hustle. He brings that whole I don't really care who gets numbers as long as we win style. And that stuff permeates through everybody. When you see somebody with talent going like, man, I really don't care what I get as long as we win. That's how other people start thinking. Like I've been coaching teams where we had a lot of talent, but everybody wanted their numbers. And they'd be like, Mr. Parker, why we 6-6? Like why we 7-5? And I'm like, it's really simple. You want me to be honest? You want me to lie to you? I'm like, everybody want to score. Nobody really wants to win. Everybody want to look good. And I'm like, once y'all get rid of that, we'll win more. And then I have some teams where they would have so much talent. They would be crazy talented. And I would have to make them shoot the ball. Like I would have to be like, look, somebody need to put up a shot or y'all all run it. Because they all wanted, they just wanted to win. And if they had a shot, but somebody else was more open, then they passing the ball. And those teams are like so much fun to coach because you could make them play defense, and you didn't have to make them play defense. You would be like, "Look, we're going full court press. This is what we doing. We eating them up. Nobody's scoring." They wanted to play defense more than offense because they were just so unselfish. I feel like that's what Draymond Green is. However, dude was out of line. Like homeboy was 100% out of line. Once you start disrespecting somebody personally and calling them stuff like a coon, especially like a black man, one black man calling another black man something like that, I'm just looking like that's absolutely ridiculous. You might hate what this man has to say about you. You really might. Like you don't like his style, you don't like how he's coming at you, you think he's lying or whatever. You you cannot disrespect that black man like that. And I felt like everything Kendrick Perkins said was warranted. Like I don't even know why he got forced to take it down. I really don't. I was listening and I'm like, yep, I'd have said that. I'd have said that. Because it's just disrespectful to take a beef like that and blow it up and make it something completely different. And that's what he did when he called him that. I mean, them having it back and forth. I mean, to me, that it just looked like Love and Hip Hop for real, like Love and Hip Hop basketball edition, whatever you want to call it. That's what it looked like until he started getting personal. Once you get personal, it's like no matter how you feel about it, it's business. You know, people want clicks. People gonna say what they're gonna say. That's kind of why I really don't do the whole hot take thing. I mean, if my take is kind of out there, or if it's some people go like, "Ooh, that's not bad design, man." That's more like that's exactly how I felt, and that's why I said it. It's not like I'm not trying to be out here like that, and I feel like you got so many people on these networks and all of that. They they say certain things and they try to get people going, and a lot of these beefs I feel like are contrived. I really don't feel like Stephen A. Smith hates the Cowboys that much. Not like he acts like he does. I really don't think Skip Bayless hates LeBron James the way that he acts like he does. I mean, you got really big fan bases, right? You got these huge fan bases. And if you disrespect a team, you're gonna listen to that person disrespect your team so you can get mad at them. I mean, people have made a living off of that for real. Like, I mean, I found it funny that like when Howard Stern was really big, people were like, all of these people are watching you, and why? Because they want to hear what you got to say next. All of these people hate you and they're listening to you. Why? They want to hear what you got to say next, and that's basically what it is. And like I said before, if you don't like somebody, why are you listening to them? I mean, turn it off. You paying them and you don't like them. That's goofy. But in this situation, I feel like an apology is warranted. I'm from Draymond Green, and it's not even like you apologizing for like anything else that you said because you probably really felt that. And I wouldn't apologize for speaking my mind and saying stuff that I really truly feel is real to me. But if it was me, I would go like, I apologize for disrespecting you and calling you that word. That was out of line. I mean all the other stuff I said. Don't get me wrong. Like Like you get on my nerves, and I want to let you know that. Like, but I went too far, and people go too far sometimes. For real, nobody's perfect, man. Like people get on the mic, and people start talking to other people, and sometimes they may go just a little bit too far. And like I said, nobody's perfect. But if you can't humble yourself to be like, you know what, I messed up. Like I really did, and I shouldn't even have played you like that. My bad. And see if they accept the apology. If they don't, you can't get out in your feeling like, oh, I apologize. He doesn't have to accept your apology. Like you don't apologize just because somebody's gonna say okay. You apologize because it's the right thing to do. And if they want to accept it tomorrow or the next day or something like that, that's their right because you disrespected them. You don't get to control the apology too. Like like what part of the game is that? But I mean, I just find it really interesting that in this whole hot take world we live in, people still don't understand that even past the entire hot take, even past the controversial stuff that you say, you can't let this stuff get that personal. Like you really can't. We watching grown men play games. Like people start arguing they facts and they start going like, nah, so and so the best, not so and so the best, but his PER and his dude, that's all good. But once you start attacking somebody personally and you don't really even know these people, that's when you go too far. Like you really do. And people need to suck it up and understand like a hot take ain't worth you coming at somebody crazy because every now and again you get real live people that go like, you're not gonna come at me like that. And that's when stuff hit the fan. And then it gets ugly and everybody's looking like, how did it get that serious? People made it that serious. So watch your words out there, y'all. I tell my kids this all the time, especially my younger kids. When people say words don't hurt you, those are lies. Because if they didn't hurt, why do people say the stuff that they say? You know, people say words to you to try to hurt you, and it's up to you to kind of shake it off. Get upset in private or something like that, and then come back at it and just try to be the bigger person because it's wild out here, man. Like it really is. This whole hot take stuff is kind of funny to me, real talk. Um, but before I ride out, um, the Myrtle Beach trip was absolutely awesome. I'm gonna give y'all a couple of do's and a couple of don'ts about Myrtle Beach because I it's a really interesting place to me. We usually go down there every year. The wife is saying we can't do it next year. She's kind of burnt out on Myrtle Beach. I get it. We've been on there for a few times. So in all of our times going, I would say your main do should be to get the best room possible. You want the best hotel possible. In Myrtle Beach, do not skimp on the room. If you're not college age, you shouldn't be like in like the dirt, not the dirt rooms, but those small rooms where it says pool, HBO, ESPN. Like if they offering cable on the top of the billboard, like if they offering cable on top of the sign, that's the best that it's gonna get, champ. Like it really is. So, nah, you want places that have like the indoor, that have like the garage parking that's like right next to the beach. You're gonna pay more, but it's absolutely worth it in terms of access, in terms of restaurants that surround the hotel, and just in terms of, I mean, safety and stuff like that. You want that hotel as close to the water as possible. We were blessed enough to be like right on the beach with the ocean front view. It was absolutely amazing. I don't know how we left. Real talk. I don't even know how we got back up here. I'm surprised that we just didn't stay and become like beach bums or something like that. I don't know, but it was real cool. And I would say one of the main don'ts is don't just pick any seafood place. Do not assume that just because you're in Myrtle Beach, every place has the best seafood. It's really not like that. Um, I usually talk to everybody in the hotel when we're at a when we're doing a vacation. If we're on the elevator, I'm chatting you up on the elevator. Like if we're at breakfast, we're getting waffles. I'm like, hey, what's up? What's going on? Where you from? Oh, for real? Like we're having conversations like that. Like I'm that dude. Like I can't help it, and I know it's because of the family. My family is absolutely positively huge, and wherever we go in Cincinnati, we're bound to know somebody that knows one of my aunts or one of my uncles. And I'm just always talking to people. I don't care. So I'm having conversation with the folks, and they're like, yeah, I went to the seafood buffet and it was like $100 for two people and the seafood was trash. I'm like, good Lord, $100 for two people in the seafood buffet? Like, what kind of seafood was this? And they're like, it wasn't even that good. And you hear these stories like uh, all up and through Myrtle Beach. You're gonna want seafood because I mean it's Myrtle Beach, but you wanna you wanna check closely. Um, I would recommend Mrs. Fish. Now, I will recommend Mr. Fish, but they kind of let us down, and then I don't know if they was open, and then it was this whole thing. We thought Mrs. Fish was like the spinoff. We tried them, and it was absolutely amazing. So I would definitely recommend Mrs. Fish if you go down there if you're listening. But all seafood places are not good seafood places in Myrtle Beach. It's not like you're in Maryland or something like that when you could stumble upon like great crab or something like that. It's not like that. So watch yourself. Um, and my last don't is don't drive through West Virginia. Like every time we drive through West Virginia, it's like something weird happens. And I don't know what it is. Like the drivers drive goofy, and I'm not. And when you're driving through West Virginia, I'm not really talking about West Virginia drivers because I'm looking at license plates, and there's all sorts of people from different states driving through West Virginia. I saw Utah plates, like I really did. I saw New Mexico plates. I'm like, er, you drove from New Mexico? I'm like, this got to be a rental. Like it has to be a rental. Either that or you trying to see this great country of ours. I don't know. So I'm not really talking about West Virginia drivers. It's just driving through West Virginia. I don't know if the mountains freak people out or something like that, but people just cannot drive through those mountains. I mean, it's wild. It's like the shortest path, which is kind of weird because we go up Ohio and then back down again, but it's shorter than just going through Kentucky. But they can't drive. Maybe everybody was just so dizzy from being down south that they were just kind of swerving in the lanes or something like that. And then it started raining. It always rains on the way back from Myrtle Beach in West Virginia. It's like a big rain cloud that sits over West Virginia and waits for old LP to drive through so it can rain. Like it's like one of those clouds you see on like TV where somebody is real sad and the cloud just follows them. I'm like, what part of the game is this? And as soon as we cross the line out of West Virginia, guess what? It's not raining. It's a setup. I really think it's a setup. They're trying to set me up, man. It's not cool. So avoid driving through West Virginia if you can. And if you have to drive through West Virginia, I wouldn't say speed, but just take it easy around those mountains. Just saying. Like it's just kind of wild, but it was a lot of fun. I got two don'ts and one do because that's the main do. Everything else is pretty much standard fare as far as what to do in Myrtle Beach. Make sure you hit the beach. Make sure you hit the outlet mall. They got two of them, so you can't miss them. Hey, and it's all good. I mean, good people, good time, good sunshine. Um, watch the seafood. Hey, we're gonna go ahead and roll out. We gonna do this again next week. If you're having Fourth of July parties or something like that, be safe. As you know, if you listen to the pod, Fourth of July for us was Juneteenth. Real talk. And we just haven't really been big 4th of July like folks. You're not gonna see us draped in the red, white, and blue, like with the flag and all of that, just hanging out the window. Because I mean, honestly, it's just kind of hard for us to do that. And I thought this would be a problem with my uncle. I said this before because my uncle, he's a army guy, and he let us know a long time ago. He was like, we fought and we do this for you guys to celebrate as you wish. Like, we're not doing this so that you have to like put the flag in for the 4th of July. He's all like, most of his folks feel the same way. You know, they're doing all of this to give you the freedom to celebrate as you wish. And it's not like I'm gonna be out anti drawn on flags and stuff like that. It's just I just don't feel like this is meant for us because folks were free on July 4th, 1776, and people got their independence, but some people didn't. And they looked a lot like me, so it's like we just prefer to do that on Juneteenth. Not to say you won't find us at a barbecue or something like that, because we're going to use this as an excuse to barbecue up some stuff, because hey, it's a good time to queue up some stuff. But I mean, however you're gonna celebrate, make sure you're safe, make sure you eat good and all of that stuff. And hey, you know where we at? Every Tuesday. Except in this case. And we'll see you when you see you. And as always, y'all, life is good. Peace out. If you're not ready for the conversation to end, I'm not either. Make sure to catch me on Twitter. That's a Cincy fan talking. Leave off the G at the end of it, and we can keep the conversation going. Also, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button so you can catch the next episodes. The episodes will drop every Tuesday. If there's a change in that, I'll make sure to let you know. Appreciate the support. As always, life is good.